Good morning, brothers and sisters. So, this is the second part 2 to how do you prepare to meet your God ordained spouse. So, for the preparation, this also includes ensuring the purity of your home. Now, if you are someone who works from 9 to 5 daily, other than your workplace, your home is the next place that you spend most of your time in. Even if you're just coming home to take a shower, have dinner, and sleep, and then have to wake up again the next morning just to go to work, even if the time that you spend in your home is minimal, still it is very important that you're very, very mindful of the things that you place in your home. So how do you ensure the purity of your home, and how does this relate to preparing to meet your God ordained spouse? Now, items, things such as clothings, gifts, etc. All these items, especially things that have sentimental value, they can have a positive effect or a negative effect on you. So if you have gone through a breakup and if you still have your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend's things in your home, either it could be things that you had bought for them where they had returned it back to you. Maybe it's in top-notch condition, maybe it's a very, very expensive item. So maybe you didn't have the heart to discard it and you were just keeping it in your home. Or this could be gifts that your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend could have given to you, and although the relationship didn't last, you still wish to hold on to the good memories, the good side of things of that failed relationship. So hence, as a result, you decided to keep the items that your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend had given you. Or this could be items that constantly remind you of your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. And when I'm saying ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, this also includes ex-spouses, regardless of whether they are male or female. So these items also include items that actually remind you of your ex on a continual basis, or these could have been items that you had bought for them, intending to give it to them, but then you never had the chance to. Whatever it is, as long as these are items that were meant for the ex-partner, or these are items that actually constantly remind you of the ex-partner, please discard all of them immediately. Like some people, they will actually create a fire and throw all the items, but that is not necessary. Just discard them. The sooner you discard them, you will definitely see a shift in yourself. Trust me and do it. So what if you were married before? Your wedding gowns, your wedding tux, the wedding outfits that you wore, maybe the wedding outfits that you wore for your engagement, and then the separate wedding outfits that you wore, please discard them. I know times are hard and sometimes some of these items are really expensive. So you might be thinking, no, instead of discarding them, let me just, place listings online so that if there is any interested buyer, then I can just sell off this item. Well, let me tell you something. It is okay to let go of these things and not gain anything in return, because what you're doing right now by discarding all these items is that you're letting go of all past hurts, and most importantly, you are intentionally breaking all soul ties that was formed with that particular individual. So by not selling the items, not getting anything in return, and still keeping that feelings over there, instead of doing anything like that, by discarding it completely, yes, you are intentionally breaking the soul ties. Once the physical items are out of your home and out of your life, then when you're doing the prayers to break all soul ties that was related to that person, trust me, you will be actually breaking all the soul ties. God will be helping you to break all the soul ties in a much quicker rate. As long as you hold on to these physical items in your home, the message that you are giving God is that yes, that relationship has failed and now you're looking forward to meet your God ordained spouse, but at the same time you're not willing to let go of your past memories of your previous relationship. Now, when we are intentionally praying to receive our God ordained spouse, remember this: when God is actually choosing his beloved son or daughter and is preparing to gift us with him or her as our life partner, he is not just going to give his beloved son or daughter to anyone who is just desiring marriage. He is not going to give to someone who is double-minded. Like for instance, someone who is totally okay with being single and constantly says that on a daily basis and says that it is okay that if I'm not married, if I'm married, that's fine. If I don't get married, then that is also okay. I'll just be single. He's not going to choose someone like that. At the same time, he is also not going to choose someone who really desires marriage, but at the same time, who constantly still thinks about his or her past relationship and reminisces over past memories, because that is double-mindedness. You do not have to be in a physical relationship with the previous partner, but as long as you keep thinking about them, reminiscing over them, thinking about all the good memories that you had with him or her, you are unintentionally still having a close relationship with them in the spiritual realm. You, in fact, are actually reigniting soul ties with them. So when people are living like this, that's when they'll realize that this ex-partner, no matter whom they date, they always return to them. And they falsely think that, oh, it's because no matter who they date, they still come back to me, so that means we two are meant to be together. No, it's just that it's because that the relationship is not meant to be with that person. That person might be a very good person, might be an excellent partner for anyone, but it's just that that person is not meant to be your partner, your best. That person is not the best partner for you. But since you are having this, since you are reigniting these soul ties over and over again by thinking about them, reminiscing over the good memories, even if they are in any other relationship, your thoughts, your feelings are actually interrupting and interfering with their relationship that they are having with another person. Why? Because of the soul tie that you have created. So please, if you have any physical items, please discard them immediately. So even if you are completely single, desiring a partner, as long as you're still thinking about your ex, holding on to the good memories that you had with them, again, God will not reveal His beloved son or daughter that He had reserved specially for you. Why? Because He is not going to intentionally hurt His beloved son or daughter. Simply put, He will just say that it is not time for you yet. You have to go through the preparation period where you have to go through the pruning season. The pruning season, which one of it requires letting go of all past memories, past hurts, past good memories, letting go of the what ifs. Maybe if I had tried better, maybe that relationship could have worked out. Maybe that could have been the best person that I could ever have in my life. Maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I should try again and see whether this person is truly the one for me. As long as you have thoughts like this in your mind, you really can't commit yourself 100% to the prayer of God being the one who is the matchmaker to give you your God-ordained spouse, because this is double-mindedness. On one hand, you're praying to God to give you your God-ordained spouse, and on the other hand, you're already planning on ways on which you can win the heart of your ex-partner once again. So since you're actually half committed to that person already, God will not reveal to you your God-ordained spouse even if He has already reserved one for you. So please let go of all past hurts, past memories, all physical items that remind you of your ex, all physical items that your ex would have gifted you. If you are married, your wedding outfits. If you are divorced right now, please discard all your wedding outfits. Please discard all your engagement outfits. So what do we do with the wedding rings then? That's a very good question. Now, depending on your faith, this is what you can do. Like for certain faiths, there is like a donation box in the temples or synagogues that they go to, and they will actually drop their wedding rings in that donation box in the temple. They will actually place their wedding rings in the donation box in the temple or the synagogue that they go to, simply stating to God that now that this relationship is over, I'm giving this back to you. Please remove all kinds of ties with this person that I had married before. And if it's in your will for me to give me my God-ordained spouse, please do so. I no longer wish to keep any of these wedding things in my possession. They are all yours. I surrender them to you. And with that, they will do that. And for some people, they will actually go to jewelry shops and then they will literally sell off the wedding rings and then purchase new jewelry. Remember, some people will actually go to jewelry shops and then request that the wedding rings are dismantled and then molded into new jewelry. No, please don't do that. Completely let go of the item. It's better to just sell off the items at the jewelry shop and really get new jewelry which you can use for any future purpose. But just make sure that you don't use the same material which is melded into a new jewelry, because if you do that, then in essence you're still holding on to the same item. and you're still keeping it there in your home, then it is really pointless to even try to sell the item if you're actually using that same items to create new jewelry, because in the essence you're still holding on to the memories of the previous relationship. So that's one. Number two is purity of self. Now, if you're a single person practicing abstinence, or some of you could be celibate, I understand that it is very challenging to go through this. Now, I do not know how males do it, but as for females, as all of you know, every single time when the monthly cycle is over, regardless of the fact that even if there are any triggers or not, the urge will be very strong, and sometimes it can be really overwhelming. So especially when you're a single person and you have been single for a very, very long time, it can really be very damaging to your self-esteem, because this is yet another reminder that you're alone. And now you just have to deal with it and just pray over it and wishing for the urge to go away. So how do you practice self-purity during really challenging periods like this? It's very simple. Really just make a prayer to God and God, if you are keeping me single right now, as this is a season for preparation, then please, I would like to maintain my purity during this season. Please shut down all sexual feelings and all sexual sensations that are causing through my body. I am only getting more grief and misery over this, as this again reminds me of how single and lonely I am. I do not want this misery of feeling alone and having these sensations at the same time. Please shut down all of my sexual feelings. Only when you give me my God-ordained spouse, then, only when you give me my God-ordained spouse, then please let me have a normal, healthy, physical relationship with my God-ordained spouse. Until then, please shut down all sexual feelings. This is literally the prayer that I prayed to God. And true enough, since I was very, very intentional about it, the suffering after the monthly cycle was like greatly reduced. So if you are a female and if you're struggling with purity, then perhaps you can try saying this prayer as well, and I hope that it helps you. So since I'm saying this, so you know what I'm going to say about, I can't say the word here in this video. Okay, let me just say it as self-pleasuring. No, you can't do that. And the reason why you cannot do that, even if you're not actually meeting a physical person, is simply because this is unnatural. That is one. Number two, by constantly relieving yourself of this sexual tension, what happens is that your body will kind of get used to the way that it needs to be handled so that you can get the sexual release. And the more you do it, what happens is the very important core areas of lovemaking can actually become desensitized. And when that happens, and later on when you're married and then you're in a physical relationship, you will come to find out that those certain areas that were desensitized are actually meaning that way, unless you personally do the same stuff again just to release the sexual tension. So don't do that to yourself. Spiritually speaking, when you're pleasuring yourself, you have to create images in your mind, and that's how the whole process is done, and then your sexual tension is released. By creating these images in your mind, what happens is you're creating portals. What do I mean by portals? You're creating gateways for any evil spiritual being to enter your consciousness then. And when you're engaging in this physical act, unknowingly, you could be actually performing this act with this spiritual entity who now has a hold over your life, over your sexual relationship, simply because you have opened the portal. So our eyes, ears, mouth are portals for good energy to step in as well as negative energy to step in. Self-pleasuring has never been one of the things that any god from any religion has encouraged people to do, simply because of all the senses, of all the body parts, our eyes, our ears, our mouth. Our private part is one of the most sacred places and sacred body part that we have to guard. It's not just the mouth that we need to guard, especially our private part, we really need to guard it as well. So what happens if a person who is single and feeling lonely, they frequently engage in these self-pleasuring acts? What happens is sooner or later, yes, without their knowledge, there will be a spiritual entity that will actually be in union with them, and because that spiritual entity is living within them, they will not be sexually attracted to anyone that they come across later on in life, or even if they have met someone and they have married that person, when they are actually engaging in the actual sexual act, this person will not find any sexual pleasure with them. And to release that sexual tension, guess what they're going to do? Again, they're going to go back to self-pleasuring, through which they are going to establish stronger ties, stronger soul ties with that spiritual entity. So to prevent yourself from getting into a problem like this, please stop engaging in this act. What if you have been engaging in this act for years? Pray to God over it. Okay, you can say the first prayer like what I said before about telling God to shut down all sexual feelings, because if there are no feelings, then you wouldn't have the urge to even do anything like that. Number 2, also pray to God and ask Him to remove all soul ties in all areas of your life, and specifically state the soul ties that could come from your self-pleasuring acts. You have to state it explicitly in your mind to God. I mean, God is God. You do not need to be ashamed to tell Him what you have done. You can just tell Him that, and by consistently, intentionally praying to God to remove all sexual feelings, and consistently and intentionally praying to God to break all soul ties from your life, definitely any attachment, any soul ties that are tied, any attachments or any soul ties that are tied to any entities due to self-pleasuring, they will leave your life. God will uproot them from your life, because you are intentional not to engage in these acts anymore. And trust me, this will help you so much in your life, and this will also, by being very intentional about this prayer with God, trust me, this will help you so much in life. You'll come to find that in future, whenever you come across someone new, you will not be immediately physically attracted to them like you had been before in the past when you came across any attractive new strangers. Instead, you'll realize that you're becoming more observant now on their gestures, on their facial expressions, whether their words match their actions, and so forth. So because of this, physical attraction will no longer cloud your judgment when you meet someone new. Now, the next step of preparation is actually asking God to shut down all romantic connections if they are not from Him. So what do I mean by that? So as you're praying to God every day for your God-ordained spouse, and then when you go somewhere, for instance, you're going to the gym for a workout, and then you come across someone new, they appear attractive, they have a nice, gentle demeanor about them, and you happen to have a nice, pleasant conversation with them. So when a thought just pops in your head, hey, maybe could this be my God-ordained spouse? As long as a thought like that just occurs in your mind, immediately take it to God. Immediately there and there itself, in your mind, just say this: God, if this person is not sent by you, and if this is not my God-ordained spouse, please shut down this person. Please shut down all connections with this person. And the thing is, once you make this prayer, as long as this person is not your God-ordained spouse, you'll realize that almost immediately God will reveal to you if that person is already seeing someone else, or this person has eyes for another person, or He might reveal to you some major red flags in this person, so that you won't even be encouraged to even develop a friendship with this person. God is very intentional about this. As long as you seek God's counsel first regarding anyone that you come across, it doesn't even need to be a romantic relationship. Even if it's someone from your same gender and you're not really sure about this person's intentions, just say the same prayer. Dear God, I'm speaking with this person. This person seems like a nice person, but if this person does not have any good intentions towards me, please shut down this person. I do not wish to interact with them anymore. Please guide me and show me. And true enough, sooner or later, you will come to find out whether this person is even meant to be in your life path. If this person is really not good for you, God will immediately show you the red flags in that person. Or if this person is meant to be a good friend to you, definitely God will show them. Definitely God will show you the sincerity in their hearts. And at the same time, God will also show them the sincerity in your heart. And after making this prayer, if God keeps making the two of you meet, especially those from the same gender as you, then that is definitely a sign from God that yes, you can interact with this person and this person has been God approved. Now, how about your God ordained spouse? So once you make this prayer, if this person is not from you, God, if this is not my God ordained spouse, please shut down this person. Sooner or later, as long as this person is not meant for you, you will definitely not really come across this person anymore. And even if you do, you will only be shown what are the red flags in this person. Okay, but what if this person shows a lot of interest in you? Okay, but what if this person is not a total stranger? This is someone that you know very well and they have expressed interest in you. What do you do then? Same thing, before you let your feelings interfere, just take it to God and pray to God, mention that person's name and say, God, if this person is the person that you have ordained to be my spouse, then please give me confirmations revealing that this person is truly the person that you have sent me to be my spouse. And then you can even tell God what are the specific signs or confirmations that you would like to see, just so that you know that this person is indeed has been approved by God. So sometimes people will mention a certain animal that they could come across, so that could serve as a confirmation. Or sometimes people will just see numbers, certain numbers that is definitely, people will see certain numbers that is actually very specific and related to that person. Like for instance, they might come across that person's birth date many times unintentionally, but they will just come across that birth date every single time. They might see it as the time on the clock, or when they are going out, they can see it on an advertisement poster and so forth. Whatever it is, as long as you meet someone, and as long as, yes, this is very important, as long as you're attracted to that person and you think that they are a good person, so you're wondering whether they are your God ordained spouse, before you take the conversation to a deeper level, always seek God's counsel first. As long as you don't get your feelings involved and you sincerely ask God, if this person is not sent by you, shut them down, God will do it for you. Don't let your feelings get in the way. And when you're making this prayer to God, asking Him to shut them down if they are not sent by Him, don't also secretly have desires in your heart saying that, oh, but I really hope that it is Him. It will be so great that if He is my God ordained spouse. If you're having thoughts like that while you're also asking God that if He is not the one for you to shut Him down, then you're not going to get an immediate answer from God, because God is not someone who is going to override our will. If you're asking Him for help, but at the same time you're sincerely hoping in your heart that maybe this person could be your God ordained spouse, if you're wishing for that, then God is not going to override your will. Instead, He will just allow you to get to know that person better. If you're going through that route of getting to know a person on a deeper level where attraction is fully formed, and then you are really interested in that person, then later on, if you're asking God again, if this person is not meant for you, no, please shut him down or please shut her down, then if God reveals to you some of the red flags in that person, it will be very hard for you to accept that. And at the same time, it will also be very devastating for you to realize that this person is not even your God ordained spouse, because you were just attracted and interested in that person. You were just hoping that everything will fall in place. So please don't do that, because if you were to go through that, that will be such a big major disappointment for you, especially when you realize that that person is not cut out to be all that you thought he or she were. So please don't do that to yourself. Being attracted to someone is not wrong, okay? Even for the God ordained spouse, even for the spouse that God gives you, God knows about attraction very well. He will definitely give you a life partner who is attractive to you, and you will be attractive to them. So God is not going to condemn you just because you find someone attractive and you're hoping that they are your God ordained spouse. As long as you do not let the feelings develop further, as long as you don't let the conversation get further, as long as you're only in the initial stages of meeting or maybe going for your first date, just seek God's counsel. God will definitely speak to you in the way that He usually speaks, to give you confirmations on whether this person is the person for you, or if this person is not the person for you at all. Other than shutting down the person from your life, God can sometimes give you very, very important information about them that they themselves had not revealed to you. Like for instance, if that person is actually having a secret relationship with another person while he or she is also trying to date you, God will at least reveal that to you in a dream, that this person is actually dealing with another person. Sooner or later, God will reveal that information to you without you having to go through your date's phone or checking up on him or her online. Sooner or later, God will reveal that very important piece of information for you, just so that you release that and seek God's counsel again to let him help you, guide you to the right person who is ordained by God to be a God ordained spouse. So in this video, I have shared with you about purity and about being very intentional about keeping the objects in your home. Secondly, your personal, physical, mental purity. I've shared a few steps on how you can ensure that you can continue doing that until you meet your God ordained spouse. And thirdly, when you meet someone new, someone that you're attracted to, please follow the steps that I've mentioned in this video so that you can get some clarity from God. And as long as your feelings are not too deep, you're just in the initial stages of conversation, and maybe you have only gone for the first date, definitely when God speaks to you and gives you advice over this person, you will be able to receive the advice fully without letting your feelings cloud over the information that you have specifically received from God. And this will save you from so many months of heartache, yearning for the absolute wrong person, for the person who was not even meant to be in your life in the first place. So please be patient and continue walking in this journey where you're preparing to meet your God ordained spouse. I hope you find the information that I've shared in this video useful for your current situation. Take care and God bless you. கடவுள் உங்களை ஆசீர்வதிப்பார்.